Hey everyone, welcome back to Park and Post. Are you gearing up for an amazing vacation abroad? Well, before you pack your bags, it's important to be aware of some common travel scams that could ruin your trip. Unfortunately, criminals worldwide prey on unsuspecting tourists to rip them off. In this video, I'll count down the top 20 travel scams so you can avoid them and keep your hard-earned money safe. Knowledge is power, so watch and stay vigilant on the road. I'll give you some tips on how to avoid being ripped off so you can have a stress-free trip. Let's jump right in. Number 1 is airport taxi scams. Only take official taxis from the designated taxi stand at the airport. Avoid unmarked cars and drivers approaching you inside the terminal. Official taxis have set rates, and you shouldn't have to haggle. Unofficial drivers often overcharge, take longer routes to run up the meter, and may even pose safety risks. Number 2 is pickpocketing. Avoid carrying valuables in a backpack or coat pockets. Use front pants pockets, crossbody bags, travel wallets worn under your clothes, or small day packs in crowded areas. Keep your hand over your bag on public transportation. Pickpockets target crowded spots like subways, buses, trains, and tourist attractions. Number 3 is money exchange scams. Only exchange money at banks, airport kiosks, or reputable vendors to avoid rigged calculations or counterfeit cash. Vendors may hand count cash quickly, shortchange you, or try to confuse you by mixing up bills. Carry a calculator to double-check currency conversions. I will talk more about this scam later on. Number 4 is fake police scams. Criminals often pose as police officers to intimidate travelers into paying fake fines for made-up offenses. Ask to see their credentials and badges if approached. Real police won't collect cash fines on the spot. Fines should be paid at the police station if legitimate. Number 5 is rigged gambling games. You'll often see street games that appear winnable, like shell games or games of chance with bets. But these tend to be elaborately rigged to ensure you can't win. The winners playing are actually part of the scam. Don't engage with or bet on any gambling games offered on the street. Before we move on, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of our latest travel tips and share this information with your friends and family. But let's get back to the topic. 20 most common scams to avoid when traveling overseas. Number 6 is the spilled food or dirt scam. Scammers on the street may pretend to accidentally spill something on you like food, paint, or dirt. Then they insist on cleaning it off your clothes and demand ridiculous amounts of money for their help. Ignore the spill and keep walking. Don't engage with demands for compensation. Go to an authorized business if you do need cleaning assistance. Number 7 is counterfeit goods. Many street vendors and markets overseas sell fake brand name items as the real thing. They take advantage of tourists eager for bargains on electronics, watches, purses, and clothing. Examine goods closely and assume luxury items are fake unless purchased from an authorized retailer. Number 8 is hotel overbooking. Some unethical hotels will intentionally overbook rooms, then claim yours is no longer available upon check-in unless you pay a higher rate. Always get reservations confirmed in writing ahead of time. Check the cancellation policy so a prepaid room can't be bumped. Number 9 is false medical services. Pop-up clinics and sketchy storefronts in tourist areas offer fake tests and treatments. They pretend to diagnose you with an illness to sell you useless or potentially dangerous cures. Only use licensed, legitimate medical facilities and personnel. Number 10 is Wi-Fi hotspot scams. Free public Wi-Fi networks at coffee shops, hotels, airports, and other locations may seem convenient for getting online while traveling. However, these open networks can easily be hacked by scammers to steal your personal data. When you connect to unsecured hotspots, your online activity and information like passwords can be monitored. To avoid issues, never access or enter anything sensitive when using free Wi-Fi. That includes emails, banking, credit card numbers, logins, and more. If you do need to get online, Stick to doing basic browsing at major chains like Starbucks that invest in network security. For anything that involves entering private details, use your smartphone's cellular data instead, or wait until you are on a trusted Wi-Fi network. Also, make sure your laptop and devices have updated antivirus software to catch malicious attempts. Being cautious about using public hotspots will help safeguard your data and identity while traveling. Number 11 is ticket scams. When traveling, you'll often come across scalpers and shady vendors selling tickets to events, attractions, and tours at discounted prices. While the low prices may be tempting, these black market tickets frequently turn out to be counterfeit, invalid, or even non-existent. The scammers just take your money and disappear, leaving you out of luck. To avoid getting ripped off, only purchase tickets from authorized sellers like the venue's box office, official website, or verified resale sites for secondhand tickets. Check for security features on physical tickets to validate authenticity. If a deal seems suspiciously good to be true, it probably is. You're better off paying face value for legitimate tickets than wasting money on scammers' fraudulent tickets that won't actually grant you entry. Do your homework ahead of time on where to safely obtain tickets and think twice before buying from unofficial scalpers or street vendors promising unbelievably low prices. A few extra dollars is worth it for the peace of mind that your tickets are guaranteed valid. Number 12 is free tour scams. When traveling, you'll often come across local touts promoting free walking tours, bus tours, pub crawls, or other sightseeing excursions around the city. While the offer of a free tour may be tempting, be very cautious about accepting these. The reality is the tours often come with hidden fees and expectations to purchase overpriced food, drinks, and souvenirs. The tour guide receives commissions from any vendors and attractions they take you to, so the stops are more for their benefit than yours. You may also be pressured to provide large tips for the guide at the end. The moral is that if an offer seems too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure to verify all the details and terms of any free tour in writing ahead of time. Ask exactly what is included, where you will be taken, and if any payments or tipping will be expected from you. And don't feel obligated to purchase anything from stops promoted by the guide. Do your homework to find reputable tour companies that provide real value, not just free gimmicks designed to extract as much cash from tourists as possible. Number 13 is restaurant and bar scams. Dining and drinking at restaurants and bars in unfamiliar destinations comes with the risk of getting scammed with exorbitant bills. Some sketchy establishments will add on hidden cover charges, bogus fees, and even charge you for items you didn't order. The scammers count on tourists being unfamiliar with the currency and not examining bills closely. To avoid getting ripped off, make sure you understand exactly what you are being charged for at every establishment. Ask if there are cover fees, service fees, or mandatory gratuities. Read menus closely and keep track of everything that you actually order. When your bill comes, review each charge line by line. Don't be afraid to ask questions or dispute anything that looks fraudulent. If a place seems dodgy, you may want to pay cash so your credit card isn't overcharged. Stay sober enough to monitor your consumption. Being vigilant with verifying restaurant and bar bills can save you from paying for things you didn't actually have. Number 14 is fake travel agencies. Booking vacations through illegitimate travel agencies is an easy way to get ripped off. Plenty of scammers set up fake agencies online that offer unbelievable prices on airfare, hotels, tours, and package deals. They bank on taking your money up front, then vanishing before you realize there's no trip booked. Protect yourself by thoroughly vetting any agency you use. Look for well-established companies with a long-standing, reputable presence and multiple positive reviews. Beware of prices that seem too good to be true. They almost always are. Legitimate agencies will never ask for full payment far in advance. Pay only by credit card so you can dispute charges for any fraud. Take time to research other travelers' experiences, and don't merely rely on slick websites and brochures. Booking only through trusted, verified agencies will ensure you actually get the trip you paid for, and don't lose your hard-earned money to scammers. Number 15 is friendship bracelet scams. Vendors tie these bracelets on your wrist, then demand payment. Don't take anything from solicitors that you didn't explicitly request to buy. Be firm, don't engage, and walk away if they become pushy. Number 16 is money exchange scams. This topic is of great significance, and I would like to further discuss it. When traveling abroad, you'll need to exchange currency, which provides opportunities for scam artists to prey on tourists. Criminals may approach you on the street and offer to help exchange your cash at a great rate. However, they'll slyly shortchange you or swap your real bills for counterfeits. To avoid getting ripped off, never accept unsolicited exchange offers from strangers. Politely decline and move on. Only exchange money at reputable locations like banks, airport currency exchanges, hotels, and legitimate vendors. Count your cash carefully when receiving foreign currency and recalculate the conversion. Keep an eye out for counterfeit bills, which scammers love passing off to tourists. If you do use a street vendor, find one that is officially licensed and be vigilant. Losing a few dollars on a bad exchange rate is better than accepting bogus bills or having your cash stolen by a helpful scammer. Number 17 is rental car damage scams. Shady rental companies will inspect returned cars for the tiniest scratch, then blame you and charge ridiculous repair fees. Take photos documenting conditions thoroughly before driving off the lot. Number 18 is overpriced souvenir scams. One of the most common scams travelers encounter is dramatically overpriced souvenirs at major tourist sites and attractions. Vendors know that landmarks like the Eiffel Tower or Taj Mahal attract tons of tourists looking for keepsakes and mementos. So they jack up the prices ridiculously high on things like t-shirts, keychains, magnets, and postcards, knowing that visitors want to bring home a little piece of their vacation. The key is not to feel pressured to buy from the first vendor you see just because you're caught up in the excitement. Make sure to price shop around and compare costs at multiple shops and stalls. Lots of times you'll find the exact same trinkets for a fraction of the price by walking a block or two away from the main landmark area. Don't be swayed by vendors saying their souvenirs are special or exclusive. You can almost always find a better bargain if you put in the effort to look around and compare prices. And don't be afraid to negotiate, especially if you're buying multiple items. Many sellers will be willing to come down on the total price. Just be a savvy shopper and you can avoid paying crazy inflated costs for your vacation souvenirs. Number 19 is credit card skimmers. Credit card skimmers are devices installed on payment terminals or ATMs that can secretly steal your card number and personal information. Criminals will tamper with machines in tourist areas to target unsuspecting travelers. The skimmers record card data when you dip or swipe your card, which thieves then use to rack up fraudulent charges. The best way to avoid skimmers is to be selective about where you use your card. Stick to reputable banks and chains when you need cash and try to limit card use in general. Popular tourist spots are common targets, so have cash on hand for vendors instead of swiping your card everywhere. Also be sure to closely monitor your statements while traveling and after you return home. Report any suspicious charges promptly to your bank and card issuer. Check your balances frequently so you can catch fraud quickly before it turns into a bigger headache. By being cautious with your card usage and vigilant about tracking activity, you can hopefully avoid becoming the victim of credit card skimming schemes on the road. Okay, now, are you looking for last-minute deals? Would you like to save big on flights from your city with discounts ranging from 40 to 90% off? Let us assist you in booking your dream trip. We provide various discounts and savings options to our valued customers. Join our free newsletter and become a friend of Park and Post. By signing up, you'll receive exclusive offers and updates. Click the link below to join our newsletter and start enjoying the benefits today. And finally, number 20 is long-distance call scams. Some hotels will outrageously overcharge for per-minute phone calls. Use cell phones, calling cards, or internet calling instead. Never make calls from hotel phones without confirming rates first. There you have it, the top 20 travel scams and how to steer clear of them. Being aware of common frauds is the best way to outsmart scammers. Now you can travel with confidence knowing what to watch out for. Remember to use common sense, do your research, and think twice before engaging with any offers that seem too good to be true. Stay smart and safe on your journey. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future travel tips. Happy travels, and hopefully these tips help you avoid travel scams on your next adventure. Safe travels, everyone. We'll catch you in the next video.